Ever have those days where you feel like you're surrounded by people who just don't quite get what you're saying?
Oh, definitely.
You're speaking a totally different language from, I don't know, half the room.
Happens all the time. It's a really common feeling.
It is, isn't it? Well, today on the deep dive, we're going to try and cut through some of that communication noise.
Hmm.
Our mission is to explore Thomas Erikson's book, Surrounded by Idiots. Quite the title, but through the really insightful lens of entrepreneur Arnaud Bray's personal review.
That's right. And for this deep dive, we're really going to try and pull out the key learnings, stuff about understanding different personality types, how to improve your own communication, maybe foster better relationships.
And we're using Ray's reflections specifically.
Yeah, directly from his review. And they're pretty powerful, actually, especially given his background, startups, entrepreneurship.
Right, where clear communication and effective leadership are absolutely crucial, not just nice to haves.
Exactly. Paramount.
So get ready, because this isn't just, abstract theory we're batting around.
Oh my God.
We're talking about actual, tangible knowledge, stuff you can hopefully apply pretty much immediately to navigate your daily interactions.
Whether that's at work or...
Yeah, work, friends, family, whatever.
Mhm.
Hopefully with a bit more empathy, more effectiveness, and maybe, just maybe, fewer moments of scratching your head wondering what just happened.
Let's hope so.
Okay, so if we're trying to cut through that noise, the book kicks off with this framework. The DISC model.
BISC.
What exactly is that? How does it sort of boil down something as messy as human personality into just 4 colors? Seems a bit simple, maybe.
Well, it is a simplification, but it's surprisingly useful. The DISC model basically categorizes personalities, into 4 distinct colors. Think of it like a quick guide.
Okay.
Each color represents a bunch of specific traits and, crucially, a kind of preferred communication style, how they tend to operate.
Gotcha. So what are the colors?
Okay, so first up, you've got the red personalities.
Right.
These folks are generally assertive, very goal-oriented, pretty competitive. They're often the ones in the meeting who just want to cut to the chase. What's the point? Let's get it done.
Right. Direct.
Very direct.
Yeah.
Then you have the yellows. They're typically sociable, enthusiastic, persuasive. The life of the party type, maybe. They bring the energy, the big ideas.
Okay, yellow's got it.
Next are the greens. Greens are identified as more relaxed, patient, really supportive. They're kind of the anchors, often ensuring things run smoothly, keeping the peace.
Steady eddies?
Sort of, yeah. And finally, the blues. Blues are known for being analytical, very detail-oriented, meticulous. They're the ones asking for the data, the proof. Where's the evidence for that?
Okay, so red, yellow, green, blue. Different styles, different needs.
Exactly. Each brings a unique flavor and potential friction points to any interaction.
Right. So this is where it gets really interesting for me. Arnaud Bray, the reviewer we're focusing on, he reads this and has this big insight. He realizes he is a red personality type. Was there a specific aha moment he talks about? Or maybe a particular interaction where understanding this suddenly made everything click differently for him?
He actually describes it as genuinely enlightening, that self-realization.
Huh.
Identifying as a red helped him make sense of his own actions, his drivers, but also, and this is key, how other people were perceiving him.
Ah, okay. The perception piece.
Exactly. He recognized that reds, being driven and decisive, that was a huge asset for him as an entrepreneur. It explained why he naturally took charge, made quick calls. That helped his business.
Sure, makes sense.
But, and this is the aha part you mentioned, it wasn't just about celebrating the strengths.
Right.
He also saw the potential pitfalls really clearly. He started to understand why his directness might feel, intimidating to a green type.
Okay.
Or why a blue might find his quick decisions maybe a bit simplistic, lacking detail.
Right, because they need the data, the rationale.
Precisely. So this self-awareness wasn't just theoretical. It actually prompted him to consciously change things, like maybe asking for more input before deciding, or taking the time to explain the why behind a quick decision, especially to the blues or greens on his team.
So actively tempering that red intensity.
Yeah, tempering assertiveness with a bit more patience, more empathy, especially when dealing with people who just don't operate with that same level of urgency he naturally has. It was seeing both sides, the power and the challenge of his own style.
Wow, that's pretty profound self-awareness. Okay, so Ray's journey is insightful, definitely. But how does this translate into, concrete improvements for someone listening right now? What were the key practical takeaways he got from the book? the advice.
Yeah, he definitely emphasizes several really practical strategies. Number one probably is learning to adapt your communication style.
Okay, adapt, but how specifically?
Well, Ray gives examples, like when he, as a very decisive red, needed to pitch an idea to someone he suspected was a blue, maybe an investor.
Right, detail-oriented.
Exactly. He learned to consciously pause and ask himself, okay, how does a blue need to hear this? So instead of just his usual big picture high energy pitch,
Which might work for a yellow.
might work great for a yellow, but for the blue, he'd structure it differently. He'd make sure he had precise data points, a clear logical flow laid out before the meeting.
So it's not just be adaptable, it's adapt based on their likely color profile.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Thinking about their specific DISC needs to avoid those common clashes, like, not overwhelming a green with aggression or losing a blue's trust by being vague.
That's really practical. What else?
Secondly, he really stressed embracing diverse strengths, learning to see the value each personality type brings.
So not seeing the other colors as idiots.
Exactly. Not idiots, just different. Recognizing and actually valuing those differences helps build much stronger, more effective teams. He found, for instance, his red drive was essential for getting projects moving, right?
Sure, the initiator.
But he realized a green team member provided that crucial stability, that supportive environment needed for the long haul, made sure the ambitious plans were actually grounded and, sustainable, not just a flash in the pan.
Okay, valuing the whole spectrum. Makes sense.
Third, and this is maybe the foundation for everything else, is practicing self-awareness.
Right, the thing he experienced.
Yeah, but it's not a one-off. He presents it as this ongoing thing, constantly reflecting on your own behavior, how it lands with others. That allows you to make those conscious adjustments day by day that really boost your relationships and how effective you are as a leader or just as a person.
So constantly checking in with yourself.
Yeah, for him, it meant things like consciously monitoring his directness, choosing when to push, and crucially when to maybe slow down, listen more actively.
Okay, and there was a fourth.
Yes, finally, and this ties it all together, fostering empathy and patience.
The softer skills, maybe.
You could call them that, but he frames them as essential. Key ingredients for building trust. Taking that extra moment to genuinely try and understand someone else's perspective, their needs, it just creates a much more positive collaborative space. Especially critical when different colors are trying to work together.
So patience isn't just being nice, it's strategic.
Absolutely. He learned patience is a strategic tool, especially for a red, interacting with non-reds. It helps bridge those communication gaps.
It really sounds like this whole concept goes way beyond just labeling people. It's about getting really valuable insights into how we all tick, how we interact every single day.
Yeah, it's like a practical toolkit for human dynamics.
So if we zoom out a bit, what's the kind of overarching message Ray took away from Surrounded by Idiots? What's the big picture here?
Well, connecting it all, Arnaud Barré's review really paints the book as pretty much a must-read for anyone looking to get better at interpersonal skills, boost their self-awareness.
Not just for entrepreneurs.
No, for anyone, really.
Mm-hmm.
He sees it as offering a genuinely transformative approach to how we communicate and even how we lead, because it gives you that practical, usable framework. It lets you understand others, sure, but maybe even more importantly, understand yourself.
And that's exactly why we wanted to do this deep dive. Hopefully the insights we've pulled out here give you some tangible tools, ways to navigate the, let's face it, often complex world of human behavior with a bit more ease, maybe more effectiveness. Whether you're running a company like Arnaud Barré, managing a team, or honestly just trying to improve your personal relationships day to day, these frameworks can really make a difference.
Yeah, they really can. And maybe that leads to an important question for you listening right now.
Okay.
How might getting a handle on these basic personality frameworks, red, yellow, green, blue, not just help you communicate better with other people, but also help you gain a deeper, maybe more empathetic understanding of your own natural communication style and the impact it has on the world around you?